Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, my guest, Mary Lee Walker, and today my guest is Dianne Horncastle, the Chief People Officer for the owner of Your Next Best Steps. Dianne, she helps people shine in their own greatness. I know because she has helped me shine. As a coach, Dianne helps people identify their next best steps toward their own personal or professional goals. Today, we're going to discuss appreciation marketing, a good next best step for all of us, whether we are in the nonprofit sector or the profit sector. So, welcome, Dianne.
Thanks, Mary Lee. Happy to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. So, Dianne, tell me, what is appreciation marketing?
Well, in the simplest sense of the word, it is your thank you cards. So that's number one, but it really is more than that. It's really appreciation marketing is the appreciating our customers in the profit world, and in the nonprofit world, it's the appreciation of our volunteers and our donors.
Ah, very good. So, you know, I am the nonprofit gladiator, and my expertise is the nonprofit world. So tell me, what is the difference or the same things about between in the nonprofit world or the for-profit world?
So really they're the same, but here's the difference. In the nonprofit world, you have to thank your donors and your volunteers. They are your customers, and you know that you have to continually thank them. In fact, I think, Mary Lee, your teaching is that you need to thank them like 7 times before you ask them again for money or to give to you. And in the business world, we should be doing the same. I'm not sure if it needs to be 7 times, but it sure does need to be thanking. If we were to realize that our customers are just like those donors, they choose to give to us, and we should be not only thanking them, but we should be building a relationship with them. When it comes to appreciation marketing, it's not only about thanking people, but it's really about building a relationship, because people like to do business with people they like.
I totally agree with that. Now, we call it you may call it appreciated. I use the word stewardship. So you're right. I preach, you got to thank someone 7 times before you ask them again for a donation. And that removes the transactional concept behind it, because you're correct, it is building a relationship. I agree with that.
That is so true. And you know, Mary Lee, for years, especially if you were a salesperson, you knew that you had to write that thank you note after a sale or after a meeting, because you were trying to build that relationship. And the more that you connect with people on a personal level, the less that a sales feels like a used car salesperson and more like a transaction between friends.
I like that. So tell me, what is the best avenue for appreciation marketing?
Well, there are many, and you know that too. If a nonprofit is reaching out to someone 7 times, they're not going to want to reach out to them exactly the same way 7 times. That would kind of be silly. So there are many ways. Of course, there's social media. Newer in the world of marketing and appreciation marketing is the way that we can connect with each other on social media, the way that we can name a business in our post thanking them for something, or name a person in our post thanking them for something. So that's a newer way of appreciation marketing. But the downside of that is it's not really that personal. It's kind of out there, it's big and it's out there. It's not really one-on-one. When it comes to appreciation marketing and building a relationship, you have to be doing it on a personal level. And so whether it is sending a card in the mail or a personal email, things that really touch people one-on-one. So don't get me wrong, social media is still big and it works, but it's not the only thing. I mean, let's face it, when your birthday comes around and everybody on Facebook says happy birthday, I mean, that's lovely. And sometimes you're amazed at how many people actually tell you happy birthday. But let's face it, Facebook told them it was your birthday. All they had to do was write happy birthday, right? Now, yeah, now take the person who sends you a card in the mail and you get a card for your birthday. Tell me which one of those had more of an impact. Was it the happy birthday that came across social media, or was it the card that you received in the mail, or maybe a special email, something like that that was a little bit more personal? So there are a number of ways. It can be email, it can be social media, it can be the delivery of some wonderful gift to their office. It can be a card, it can be any one of those things, but always be thinking about how can I make this special. And then as a quick side note, Mary Lee, I would say, make sure it doesn't look generic. So I have a car salesperson where we buy our cars, and that's lovely, but I can tell it's the same card he sends to everybody. He probably doesn't even know it's going out. so I make it special.
Yes, not automated. I like what you said, make it personalized. I know I have gone to a donor's house months after I have written that thank you note, and it was on the refrigerator door. And I thought that was the coolest thing. It was a compliment to me, I thought.
That's the truth. That's the truth. And you know what? When you send a card, you have that person's undivided attention for however long they are looking at that card. How often do you get a customer or a donor's undivided attention?
Right. We get inundated with email all day long, but nowadays that touch, that getting something in your mailbox, it's, it is. I think it is special. You're right.
Yeah, because so many companies have chosen to move away from direct marketing or direct mail. It's kind of unique to get something in your mailbox, so it's special.
Great, so thank you. So when is the right time for appreciation marketing?
Oh gosh, I don't think there's a wrong time for appreciation marketing. I think that a thank you immediately after a transaction is always appropriate, but I will tell you what I do. I use Facebook in a little bit different way than just sending notes. In fact, sometimes I don't even respond to something I see on Facebook. I pay attention to what people are posting on Facebook, whether it's a birthday, an anniversary, their dog had to be put down, their child is doing something special, and I will send a card for those things. And so then they're receiving something in the mail from me for something that they felt was special enough or important enough to put on Facebook. And so rather than responding on Facebook, I will send a card in the mail. And so when it comes to appreciation marketing, there's no wrong time. There's definitely no wrong time. I think for all of us, we find it hard to keep up with the number of cards or the number of marketing pieces that we could potentially be putting out there. And so finding something a little automated, but that is still personal is a nice way to go.
Good. Well, speaking of time, none of us have a lot of extra time. So how can we make this simple but still effective?
So there are all kinds of ways to automate things as long as you can keep them personal. So even emails can be, emails can be automated, social media posts can be automated, and of course, even your mailings can be automated. So there are all kinds of programs that allow you to help set up those online pieces, but I'm going to talk about, send out cards is my favorite. If you know me, you know I love send out cards, and it allows me to very easily send those cards. I can write a personal note, I can use their personal photos, and then somebody else prints it out, stuffs it, stamps it, and gets it in the mail for me. So I love that.
So you have an assistant, a virtual assistant.
A little bit of an assistant, that's the truth. And thank goodness, because if I didn't, most of those cards would be sitting on my desk waiting to go to the mailbox. We've all been there.
Well, good. So tell me, how can this make a difference for a business or a nonprofit organization?
Well, I know you already know the answer to how it makes a difference for the nonprofit. You know, nonprofits like to know where their money is going. They want to know how they're making an impact. And so those appreciation marketing pieces that you're putting out are not only saying thank you, but helping them to see where their money is going. For the business, it's building relationships. Like I said earlier, people like to do business with people they like. And so because of that, it's about building business. And I know you and I have talked about this before, Mary Lee. We are in a time when relationships matter. They've always mattered. They've always mattered. It's like all of a sudden we're discovering that they matter. And yeah, it's like this big
mystery,
great piece of news, right? But the truth is, it's always mattered. And the more we, as a salesperson, quite often you feel like every time I'm talking to this person, it's about the sale. And it has to not be about the sale. It really has to be about, I care enough about this person who happens to be my customer or my donor to get to know them a little bit and to understand what matters to them. So I think that's the biggest reason for appreciation marketing, so that it's not about a sale at all. It's about how do I get to know them better and connect with them.
Yeah, how to build that relationship. That's it. I always say that fundraising is all about building a relationship.
You're exactly right.
You know?
You're exactly right. And you know what, Mary Lee, sometimes people do business. They might not have normally come and done business with you or even donated to your cause, but it's because you have been so passionate and so I forgot my word, but anyway, you've been out there building your relationship with them, and so they're giving because they like you and because you're passionate, so they're kind of giving to what you're passionate about.
Good. Yes, passion does make the difference. Definitely. And so Dianne, tell us, how can we get in touch with you?
Oh, so if you want to get in touch with me, I'm easy on Facebook. So you can get me through Facebook, Dianne Horncastle, or Your Next Best Step. You can also get me by email, horncastle321@gmail.com is easy. So get in touch. I'd love to. In fact, if you want to try to send a card, a simple card through send out cards, let me know and I will send you a link to send a free card on me, which includes postage. So what a deal.
Wow, free. We love free.
We all love free.
We do love free. Well, Dianne, thank you so very much for being my guest on my Nonprofit Gladiator website. I appreciate you, and hopefully we will continue to work together.
You know we will.
Blessings to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.